I'm working at the Pediatrics Department of Children's Hospital Colorado, starting early this morning as usual. With the soft morning sunlight streaming through the examination room window, I attend to my young patients one after another. In my white coat pocket is a drawing of a smiling sun that Emily made for me this morning. When she handed it to me saying, "I hope Mom's patients get better," I felt such pride in my work. While checking the latest test results on the screen, I smiled and said, "Don't worry, you'll feel better soon," and I could see the anxious mother's expression softening slightly. Moments like these remind me why I chose this profession. It's been 10 years since I graduated from medical school in Boston and came to Denver. When I married Michael, whom I met through a colleague 8 years ago, I never imagined my life would turn out like this. Me, raised in Boston, and him, a Denver native. At first, I struggled with the cultural differences, but his kindness and sincerity gradually opened my heart. Working at an IT company, he made time in his busy schedule to meet my parents, earnestly sharing his dreams for our future while nervously eating Boston's famous lobster. When we first got married, my mother-in-law Patricia was very kind to me. As a successful real estate agent in Denver's upscale Cherry Creek North neighborhood, she was a well-known figure in the community. Every Sunday at church, she was a central figure in charitable activities. "I'm so blessed to have such a wonderful daughter-in-law," she would proudly tell her friends. When Emily was born, Patricia was overjoyed. I still vividly remember her tearfully embracing our daughter, exclaiming, "Oh my goodness! She's perfect." Back then, family gatherings were delightful. On Sunday brunches, Patricia would often sit with Emily on her lap, reading her storybooks. Our seasonal picnics at the Denver Botanic Gardens became precious family memories. 3 years ago, my sister-in-law Jennifer got married and had a lovely baby boy, Lucas. A former elementary school teacher, she chose to be a full-time mother. As our family grew, holiday gatherings became even livelier. Emily and Lucas bonded quickly as cousins. Watching them look through a photo book of Rocky Mountain National Park and promise each other, "Let's climb it together when we're bigger," filled us with joy. But gradually, changes began to appear in our happy days. It started with something subtle. Patricia's Instagram posts increasingly featured only Jennifer and Lucas. Photos of our family gradually disappeared. Lavish restaurant meals, shopping at luxury brand stores, elegant tea times, all were posted as memories with Jennifer and Lucas. When Jennifer would say sheepishly, "Mom, you're posting so many pictures of Lucas again," Patricia would laugh and reply, "Well, he's the most adorable one." Every time I heard those words, it felt like a small thorn piercing my heart. Patricia's attitude when we were together also seemed to be gradually changing from before. Now, Patricia's husband George lives separately from her. Though officially it's for work reasons, Michael privately told me it was because he couldn't stand her pretentiousness and discriminatory attitude anymore. As the president of a construction company in downtown Denver, it must have been painful for him to watch his wife change so drastically. On the morning of Emily's 7th birthday, I was preparing breakfast in the kitchen. Pancakes topped with plenty of blueberries and bananas, crispy bacon, fluffy scrambled eggs, I was lovingly preparing all of my daughter's favorite breakfast foods. Good morning, happy birthday. Michael lifted Emily in his strong arms as she came down the stairs. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Our daughter in her checkered pajamas, still rubbing her sleepy eyes, had a bright smile on her face. Mom, I smell pancakes. That's right, I made them with a special recipe today. On the table was a pancake tower with 7 candles and a small gift box decorated with ribbons. Inside the box were the ballet shoes she had been dreaming of. She was the most talented student in her ballet class at Cherry Creek Elementary School. Her teacher had recognized her talent, and she was preparing for an upcoming competition. Can I open it? After breakfast. When Michael answered with a laugh, Emily showed a slightly disappointed face but quickly responded with a bright, "Okay." Such an obedient personality is one of my daughter's lovable traits. During breakfast, I casually picked up my smartphone, wanting to check if any "congratulations" messages had arrived from friends. That's when I noticed an Instagram notification. Patricia had made a new post. The screen displayed a series of glamorous photos taken at the Denver Botanic Gardens. The garden, filled with colorful roses, was decorated for an extravagant party. A champagne gold balloon arch, crystal chandeliers, pure white tablecloths with deep red rose centerpieces. It looked like a scene from a movie. There were about 50 guests, all in formal attire, chatting with champagne glasses in hand. At the center of the photos was adorable Lucas in a tuxedo, surrounded by Jennifer and Patricia, both beaming with wide smiles. The post was dated today. The caption read, "Overjoyed to host a party for my beloved grandson Lucas at this perfect location." My hands trembled. She had deliberately scheduled Lucas's party on Emily's birthday. And we hadn't been told anything about it. Mom, what are you looking at? Emily peered over, maple syrup still around her mouth. By the time I tried to hide the screen, it was already too late. Emily's eyes gradually welled up with tears. Did Grandma forget my birthday? My daughter's fragile voice carried the pure sadness unique to children confronting an unbelievable truth. Large teardrops fell onto her pancakes. As Michael reached to comfort our daughter, I was already standing up. I could feel my fingers still trembling slightly as I dialed the phone. "Hello, Rachel. This is unusual." Patricia answered in her usual haughty voice. "Patricia, today is Emily's birthday." "Oh, was that today?" After a moment of silence, she uttered unbelievable words. "You're not real family anyway." Her following high-pitched laugh cut through my heart like a sharp blade. "I understand. Let's live as strangers then." I hung up after speaking quietly but firmly. Returning to the living room, I saw Michael embracing Emily. My husband's expression mixed anger and sadness. "It's okay. From now on, we'll live as just our own family." In the kitchen with the morning sun streaming in, we held each other for a long time without exchanging words. The pancakes had gone cold, and the sweet scent of maple syrup had faded away. The gift box on the table. The ballet shoes inside now felt very heavy. But imagining my daughter dancing in those shoes gradually restored strength to my heart. "Hey, Emily. Your ballet recital will be wonderful." I smiled while wiping the tears from her cheeks. Real family isn't just about blood ties. It's about people who love each other, support each other, and sometimes cry together. That's what binds us together. Outside the window, the gentle spring breeze was quietly swaying the lilac flowers. I believed we would become an even stronger family after overcoming this trial. 3 days had passed since that morning, and we made our decision. While Michael silently operated his smartphone, I sat on the living room sofa, brushing our daughter's hair. As quiet time passed, a small notification sound came from the screen. "It's done." Michael's voice carried a hint of relief. He had blocked Patricia on all social media and changed our phone numbers. Though we had no regrets about this choice, there was still an indescribable emptiness deep in our hearts. "Emily, let's make today special," I suggested while gently embracing my daughter's shoulders. A homemade birthday celebration, small in scale but full of heartfelt blessings. We decorated a pure white cake from the neighborhood bakery with Emily's favorite strawberries and blueberries. Michael and I wrote, "Happy Birthday, Emily," together in chocolate. Emily gave a small laugh at our slightly crooked letters. Her expression lightened our hearts a bit. But while we were enjoying our small moment of happiness, an unexpected storm was brewing outside. "Rachel, look at this." Michael, about to leave for work, showed me his smartphone. The screen displayed Jennifer's Instagram post. An open letter to Mother. "Why do you discriminate? I can no longer stay silent. Please stop these actions that destroy family bonds immediately." The post already had hundreds of comments. It seemed to be causing significant ripples in Denver's upper-class society. "I can't believe Jennifer." As my words trailed off, the phone rang. The screen showed Jennifer. I hesitated slightly before answering. "Rachel, I'm so sorry." My sister-in-law continued her tearful apology on the other end. When I saw that post, I realized I share responsibility. I couldn't stop Mother's behavior. No, I even went along with it. I can't forgive myself. Her voice was filled with sincere regret. As a former elementary school teacher, she should have understood better than anyone the deep wounds discrimination can inflict on children. "I've destroyed the pure relationship between Lucas and Emily. Through our adult foolishness. From now on, I won't let Mother see Lucas. I won't allow her to spoil him anymore." After hanging up, I stared out the window for a long time. The lilacs in the garden swayed in the spring air. Their purple flowers seemed to express our complex emotions. That evening, there was a new development. Jennifer had visited her father, George. "I think we need to have a family meeting." When I heard those words during George's phone call, my heart became even more complicated. "Rachel, the discrimination you experienced is absolutely unforgivable. I've been watching my wife's changes too. But I've reached my limit." His low, steady voice revealed years of anguish. By then, Patricia's social media behavior had become a topic of discussion in Cherry Creek North's real estate industry. Her reputation, built on charitable work and church volunteering, was rapidly declining. Apparently, inquiries from clients are decreasing. Michael quietly informed me during dinner. True to his gentle nature, he looked somewhat worried. However, this crisis was just the beginning. The next day, Jennifer took further action. She began reporting all of her mother's social media accounts as discriminatory posts. She also continued posting criticism of her mother's behavior on her own account. Discrimination in any form is unacceptable, even within families. I take a firm stance against my mother's actions. That post spread instantly, shocking the local community. Patricia's long-standing reputation as a philanthropist crumbled rapidly. A few days later, we received another call from George. "I've decided to divorce her. I've been troubled by her pretentiousness and vanity for years." This incident was the final trigger. We were speechless at his matter-of-fact tone. We realized the situation had escalated beyond our family issues into something irreversible. It was an unusually rainy Saturday. While listening to the rain hitting the windows, I was folding Emily's ballet practice clothes. She practices diligently every day for next week's competition. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, there stood Patricia, Jennifer, and George. Surprisingly, Patricia's usually immaculate appearance was nowhere to be seen. Her makeup was smeared, and she clutched an expensive designer handbag. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying. "Rachel, please, hear me out." Her voice was trembling. Behind her, the rain grew stronger. "Please come in." At my words, the three cautiously entered the living room. Michael stood up with a surprised expression. Patricia began speaking. It was a confession we never imagined. I'm actually adopted." In a trembling voice, she began sharing memories from her childhood. Being adopted into a wealthy family, constantly feeling inferior for not being their biological child. That experience led to her twisted obsession with real family, meaning blood relations. But that's no excuse. My foolishness hurt our precious family. While she spoke through tears, Jennifer was pressing a handkerchief to her eyes. "Mother lost all her real estate contracts yesterday," Jennifer quietly explained. The social media controversy had a huge impact on her business. "And I've made my decision," George continued in a heavy voice. "I'm formally filing for divorce. 3 years of separation is enough." At those words, Patricia's shoulders shook violently. "It's all my own fault. I lost everything precious through my vanity and pretentiousness." Her confession continued. She revealed that she had been seeing a psychiatrist for years. The pressure to be a perfect mother and grandmother had been crushing her. Her social media posts were a manifestation of that twisted obsession. To have hurt Emily in this way. At that moment, we heard small footsteps coming down the stairs. "Grandma, don't cry." Emily approached Patricia. You know, I loved your apple pie. I still remember. You told me, this is the Wilson family's traditional recipe, remember? The room fell silent at those words. Actually, Patricia continued in a trembling voice, that recipe. I learned it from my adoptive mother. Blood ties really didn't matter after all. Large tears fell from her face. In that moment, something moved in my heart. Yes, she had deeply hurt us. But behind those wounds lay her own deep scars. I began quietly weaving words. There's no such thing as a perfect family. But we can all support each other as imperfect beings, that's what I believe. You really, forgive me? Michael spoke in a gentle tone. There are conditions. First, attend family counseling. Second, delete all the pretentious social media posts. Most importantly, love Emily and Lucas equally. Yes, of course. Patricia showed a genuine smile for the first time. It was the same kind smile she had shown when I got married. Jennifer hesitantly spoke up. I heard Emily has a ballet competition next week. If it's okay, I'd like to bring Lucas to watch. Of course. I answered with a smile. From this day forward, our family began taking new steps. Important steps toward building a relationship that might not be perfect, but would be sincere. Outside the window, the rain began to clear. A small rainbow appeared in the clearing sky, as if blessing our new beginning. Hey, why don't we all have tea? Emily innocently suggested. Yes. Today, I'll even share that apple pie recipe. At Patricia's words, the room filled with warmth. Sometimes, the most beautiful healing can come from the deepest wounds. A long road still lies ahead of us. But like the rainbow we saw that day, I believe we'll always find a ray of hope. With that belief, I headed to the kitchen. A year has passed since then. Drawn by the spring weather, we're enjoying a picnic at the Denver Botanic Gardens. Watching Emily and Lucas playing tag under the blooming lilacs, I reflected on the changes of this past year. Rachel, these sandwiches are delicious. Patricia smiles at me. Her expression shows no trace of her former arrogance. After continuing weekly family counseling for a year, she has changed surely and steadily. The biggest change was drastically downsizing her real estate business. I want to keep work to a minimum and use the rest of my time for family, she says. She let go of the high-end properties and now focuses on more affordable ones. True wealth can't be measured in numbers. When she murmured that the other day, I felt I could truly believe those words. Her relationship with George is also gradually healing. They ended their separation and moved into a new house together. We want to create new memories in a new place, was his suggestion, which Patricia wholeheartedly agreed with. Papa, look! Lucas runs over with a balloon, with Emily chasing after him, laughing joyfully. Those two get along so well. Jennifer watches them with warm eyes. She has changed greatly too. She deleted all her social media posts criticizing her mother and now focuses on activities that strengthen family bonds. Hey, remember what happened here last year?" Michael asks quietly. "Yes, that painful birthday party was held right here. But now, a completely different scene unfolds before us. Grandma, teach me how to make apple pie." Emily settles onto Patricia's lap. Over the past year, her ballet has improved remarkably. She won the gold medal at the recent competition. Patricia's tears then were filled with pure joy. "Of course. Why don't you all come to Grandma's house this Sunday?" Lucas jumps with joy at those words. Last week, Patricia resumed her volunteer work at the church community. This time, it wasn't for the sake of appearances or formality, but from a genuine desire to contribute to the community. Though people were initially harsh, her sincere attitude has gradually earned their understanding. George sits next to me with a coffee cup in hand. "Thanks to your family, my wife has discovered true happiness. I can't thank you enough." A gentle spring breeze carries the fragrance of flowers through the garden. Emily and Lucas are now running around chasing soap bubbles. Listening to their innocent laughter, I felt a deep sense of relief. "Everyone, shall we have lunch?" Jennifer takes out her homemade quiche and salad. We spread out the checkered cloth and sit in a circle as a family. Now I truly understand how precious these simple moments are. Though Patricia still has a social media account, her posts have changed dramatically. Gone are the showy, boastful photos, replaced by modest sharing of warm family moments and community volunteer activities. "Actually, I'm starting a new project next month." She began somewhat shyly. She explained that she would start supporting children in situations similar to her own, drawing from her experience as an adopted child. Real family comes in many forms. But with love, any form can become a wonderful family. I learned that through personal experience. We quietly nodded at her words. Indeed, this past year hasn't been an easy journey. But because of that, we've come to truly understand the meaning of real family. As evening approached and we were preparing to leave, Patricia saw us off warmly. "See you next week." "Yes, I'm looking forward to it." The warmth in those words was no longer an act or pretense. Sometimes the most beautiful flowers bloom from the deepest wounds. Perhaps our family is proof of that.